Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Sir, audio is clear, sir. We'll start now, sir.
Uh, okay.
Want to try sharing the screen, the PPT once, if you have a PPT?
Yeah. I'm just trying once.
Okay, sir.
Can you
Sir,
see my screen?
yes, sir. Focus workshop, that slide is clear now.
Okay. Now this is not the screen. I want to share some different screen. Just 1 minute.
Okay, sir.
Dismiss. Oh, share. Okay.
So now the new slide has come up. Future vision, on future vision.
Future vision, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just a minute. I'm just checking couple of things. Excuse me. Is my screen visible? That PPT?
So now the screen is not visible.
Uh,
Your video is visible now.
Video is visible, but you are not getting screen, right?
Before the video as well as screen was visible. Yeah, now both are visible. Your video as well as the screen is visible.
Yeah. I'm just not able to see my video. That's why I'm thinking.
We
So,
are a
can you see the my PowerPoint?
PowerPoint is also visible now, and your video is also visible, sir. Both are visible now.
Okay. So, can I start?
So can we give an introduction about you, and then we
Yeah,
can.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank.
So welcome to all the participants to the final session of the sixth day of the AICT sponsored short-term training program. I wish to thank all the participants for patiently listening for continuous 6 days, which is really a tough task. Of course, we know that all of us are busy with our job, and parallelly you are attending all the sessions. However, your thirst for knowing about the ocean called as IoT has brought us together on a common platform, which is indeed very, happy to know. And hope all of you have gained a lot from attending all these sessions by various eminent speakers. This STTP, to share something about this STTP, was proposed almost 1.5 years before, and it was proposed on the topic of AI and IoT for healthcare applications. However, we got the time to conduct it now, that is December 2020, where this topic has reached its maximum significance due to this COVID pandemic. And one more thing that I would share with you is we didn't want to go for hands-on IoT or the basics, because there are so many STTPs on IoT where they're conducting this hands-on and basic information. We wanted this workshop or this STTP to be a bit unique and different, based on the fact that we wanted to concentrate more on the applications of IoT concepts into the healthcare domain. So that is what that has made this STTP a bit different and unique from the rest of the STTPs. Of course, this STTP is a team effort, not an individual effort. I would like to mention my heartfelt gratitude to the team members, Ms. Ramya, Mr. Nateshan, Mr. Thomas, and Dr. Balaji. Due to their continuous efforts, this STTP has come into action. Thank you, all of you. And I would like to thank the management for the unending support for this STTP. Uh, Dr. Anand Jacob Burgess, who is the CEO of Hindustan Group of Institution and Director of KCG, Dr. Annie Jacob Burgess. And thanks to our principal, sir, Dr. G. Prabhakaran, and to our Associate Dean, Madam, Dr. P. Devasundari, to all the HODs and all the faculties of KCG College of Technology for their unending support towards this event. Now I will welcome the valedictory keynote speaker of the final session, Mr. Ramakrishna Partha sir. He is the head of manufacturing and IoT cluster in Nokia, Chennai. So welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Now I hand over the session to Ms. Ramya to introduce our keynote speaker.
Warm good afternoon and welcome to all. Mr. Ramakrishna Patra, sir, Head of Manufacturing Solutions and IoT Cluster, is currently heading Engineering Services and IoT initiatives at Nokia's Chennai factory. As a telecom professional having experience spanning over 26 years, he completed his bachelor degree in Electronics and Telecommunication from University of Kolkata and joined R&D of Tata Telecom in 1994 for development of 600 MHz microwave radio. He has vast experience of working in multinational like Siemens and Nokia Siemens, handling all communication technologies, that is microwave, optics, radio access, and all leading telecom operators in India and abroad. His passion has been to learn all emerging technologies and strive for innovation. He is active member for the Global Transformation Initiatives by Nokia for Industry 4.0. He is global cluster owner for IoT in Nokia factories. At this juncture, I extend my hearty welcome to Mr. Ramakrishna sir into portals of our institute, and indeed we are very happy to have you with us, sir, for the valedictory keynote. Over to you now. Thank you so much.
Okay, so good afternoon everybody who are in this call. So it is always indeed a great pleasure and privilege for me to be here. As always, I say in different meetings, I would have personally liked to stand on the dais and address the gathering, but all of us know this is a new normal. So we have no other option but to get connected like this digital platform. So my special thanks to Dr. Cloudy and Dr. Deepa Madam for connecting me and giving me this opportunity to be here and to present my thought process here. So now, when I was contacted on this topic, I was just thinking this AICT sponsored this event, IoT powered solutions for healthcare innovations. So how I am going to add value? Nokia is neither a healthcare company nor myself by profession is having practically zero knowledge on the medical science. Okay, so how do I add value? Then when I thought that let my presentation be around the general technologies, how the whole world is changing, how we are living in an integrated world so that one cannot ignore other. So how things are getting integrated with each other. Now, telecom connectivity plays the role here. So my presentation next 45 or 1 hour and so would be around couple of topics. First, I would like to take you through a couple of challenges what we face in the communication or connectivity world. How the new technologies like 5G, Industry 4.0, which are a buzzword at this point of time, everybody knows who are in this technology field. What does it mean for us? And definitely we'll find some correlation that this 5G, Industry 4.0, future telecom or network, whatever you call, has a big role to play even for the healthcare is concerned, right? So I'd like to take my presentation through that. Okay. I will be switching a couple of slides and video here and there. So excuse me for this inconvenience what you may face. And whenever I'll be switching the screen, I request somebody to confirm that whether it is audible or visible or not. After that, I will proceed to the next stage. Okay. So
Yes,
this will
sir.
be my
Yes,
flow of. Okay. So my screen is now visible, right?
So 1 second.
Can you see my screen now?
So
Is my screen-
earlier it was, now it is not getting shared. I don't know why.
Shared. Oh.
Earlier it was okay, sir.
Or does it need to?
Now it got shared. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Great, sir. Now it is visible.
Facing this problem. Just 1 second. Excuse me. I hope now it is visible, right?
Now it is visible, sir.
Oh, but why I am not able
full
to...
screen. It has come to full screen.
Okay, good. So
yes.
Let me start this way. In this connected world, there are a couple of fundamental problems what we are experiencing throughout this world. This slide is very core to my heart. I have shared this slide in many of my presentations. Okay. Now, if we go through some of the bullet points of this slide, that whole world is right now suffering from a couple of fundamental problems where it comes to the productivity is concerned. The technology has evolved a lot. Every field, whether telecom or medical science or everywhere, there has been a phenomenal growth is happening everywhere. But if I see, so for the productivity is concerned, there are serious couple of issues which is really haunting the whole world. The first point is coming something related to, of course, human life, right? The road accident fatalities. We know that all over the world, almost 90% fatalities in car accidents are happening due to human error, the driver's error while driving. They can't control the brake, or the people are just coming in front of the car, right? Uh, if you come to other areas, not medical science, right? If you come to society, right? There is a water leakage. We know is happening. Even the country like US, there is a data point as I'm showing now from McKinsey data, 2.1 teragallon water is leaked from the leaky pipes. So if it happens in a country like US, then you can think what is going on, right? Again, something coming to medical side, we all know that many fatalities all over the world are happening just not following the doctor's prescription religiously or meticulously. There are many operations happens very successfully in the OT, but the post-operative treatments turns very vital when it is not really a patient is not being treated very effectively in his own house or when he leaves the hospital or the nursing home, right? Uh, we know the money, the diabetes is a, throughout the world people suffer from diabetes, and the money all over the world, what is spent towards diabetes management, right? Individually or country, it is a huge, right? So, and coming to the energy side, there is a lot of energy wasted, particularly coming from the AC maintenance of the team. So, couple of points which are very specific to medical science, human lives, something to other. But problem is there is a lot of opportunities we see all around which can improve people's life. Before I go to a couple of my technical slides, I'll set the tone. Let's think something beyond the technology. All of us know that how lives are changing. A serious social impact. Today, many adults, aged people in particularly, are staying alone, right? We have all uh, the sons, daughter getting older, they are getting educated, going to abroad, US, other country, parents are alone in their home. We see a lot of increasing trend of the ladies, they are going for the job, right? Mother. So when mother goes to his working place and when his kids is at home, particularly when she's small, she carries a lot of tension and anxiety, right? And predominantly all of it comes from health ground. How is she? Otherwise, not a big problem. So if I see the social structure, what is changing now, whether it is mother going to job who will take care of her kids, whether the aged parents are staying in the house, no near and dear one is there. How do we provide a health care to them, proper health care? Now, yes, we have good doctor, we have good hospital. There is a phenomenal development in the medicine is happening. But the point for I will like to start my presentation and go slide after slide. It is just not the doctor, just not the medical science. Is this medicine treatment is reaching to him at the right time? Are we able to take care of the patient's health care when it needed? Accident when it has happened immediately. Now, these topics, to be very honest, is not in the domain of medical science. Medical science concentrates more on development of the medicine, medical equipments. But the point what I'm trying to highlight that how do I render a medical service when I need it at that moment, when is a sense of emergency, is something which is beyond the medical science. This comes most like in the telecom world or the connectivity world. So increasingly what we are seeing that different technology verticals needs to be integrated. Medical science cannot keep its full potential, whatever development happens, until it join hands with the telecom world or the network connectivity world. That is the point. And this we are experiencing not only in medical science, everywhere, the same thing we are following, experiencing, and this is all about Industry 4.0. Now, this slide, what I am showing to you, actually is speaking the essence of my thought process, what I'm now going to tell, that interconnectedness and interdependence of participating system and technologies, how it can really transform the whole economy and the society and the way we are living. Now, in the telecom world, mobile is a part and parcel of our life. All of us know we can't live a single day without mobile. Now, in mobile, the upcoming technology, what is coming all over the world is the 5G. So 5G is just not a technology for the mobile operators of or a technology of Nokia or Ericsson or who provides this type of technology. It is basically a general purpose technology which has the potential to completely change the whole economy, whole life, whole society. This we will come to understand as I go. Now, why this 5G is important as we are moving to fulfill the dream of our whole connected world, where a lot of productivity related issues will be sorted out. To do that, I need to go explaining little bit, even if it is repetitive, some of the fundamentals of 5G. Because in my presentation to many forum, I have seen people still perceives that 5G is just another mobile technology, so that it is just higher speed. We know 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, LTE, speed. But 5G as a technology is something beyond the speed. So if we understand that, then I think my whole storyline or the theme of my presentation will be understood that how 5G as a technology, as a network, can really seamlessly integrate all the challenges what we are going through now. So we all know this theory. I think when I was passing out from college in 90s, yes, at that time it was the 2G domain. At that time, reaching to somebody through mobile was a great thing. Only very lucky people used to have a big size mobile handset. First, when the handset I got in Nokia, at that time it was Siemens. Oh, I used to feel I was the happiest person in the whole world to get a office sponsored mobile phone, but it's a big size. Now, what really 2G did, 2G just made us mobile that I can reach to any person, anytime over voice. Then we have seen the 3G development, but unfortunately, 3G technology was not very long-lived. Its span in the telecom world was very limited, short time. Now, as an end user, what we have seen, what 3G has given, is basically we have started using email sort of applications when the 3G was coming into action. It was more speed, more bandwidth, right? But after this short span of 3G, which was dominating all over the world, actually the whole world was taken over by 4G or LTE, what right now we are using, right? This is a mobile broadband, basically. Now, with this LTE or 4G, whatever term we call, we have seen that really we turned our mobile to our life to mobile dependent, okay? All YouTube, internet from mobile, lot of application, that is really the outcome of the 4G world. So 2G has made me mobile just on the voice. 3G for a very short span of time has helped us to get little bit of other application, predominantly email it started, and 4G has now changed the whole world. All application, all gaming, everything is happening this 4G. And when you talk about all the online gaming, video call, etc. What is 5G is all about? I may skip this slide. This looks to me too technical. I don't want to go to this technical slide too much. Now, we predict, the industrialists are predicting that this LTE capacity growth, what we are seeing everywhere throughout the world, this includes too in India, because India is one of the, it's not one of the country, I think the highest data consuming country right now, coming out all over India, all over the world. Now this LTE capacity is going to saturate shortly, and actually we are seeing a saturation, particularly with the advent of this COVID and this situation. We see those who are in the telecom world that really the network is getting choked. So there is a lot of pressure on the telecom operators, let it be Airtel, Vodafone or Reliance, to increase their capacity. So we expect that starting next year, basically, the whole LTE capacity is going to saturate and 5G is going to take over. So 5G is a journey, not that the LTE is going to vanish, or 4G. There will be a coexistence of both LTE and 5G for a pretty long time, because 5G is still miles to go. Its network to be made, its end devices are still not available. But some early symptoms, as you are seeing, that all over the world, 5G had started kicking off and it will take over the whole LTE network. Okay. So it needs, when I come to technology part, that the radio spectrum had to expand, and the efficiency of the spectrum with which we are operating the radio system, because in 2G, 3G, 4G or 5G, radio communication is the main, and where spectral efficiency is the most important, that will take over. Now I'll request everybody, I think all of you have seen this slide many times, many people use this slide, to really internalize this slide, to really understand the essence of 5G. Now, when I moved from 2G to 3G to 4G, basically the only requirement was speed. And the application, whatever we have seen, is more on the user side, on the software applications, more on the application side. Now our life is full of app. Everything we are doing through app. But for 5G, what all understand that it is just not app or high speed, it is something beyond. For that, this triangle, what I am showing, and this will be coming again and again in different format in next 2-3 slides to really understand the essence of 5G. Now, at the top of this triangle, you see one attribute or one requirement of 5G is extreme mobile broadband. Now, this is easy to understand. This is nothing, no way different compared to the existing mobile network. It will be higher speed, but the speed is really phenomenal. If I go to some of the technical data points, we are talking that this network will be able to give me 10 Gbps peak data rate, which is huge, which is actually we expect to come in the optical domain. Everybody, a mobile user, can get minimum 100 Mbps at any point of time. Today, if you see our mobile data rate in LTE technology, it is very difficult to move 10, 13, though technology claims 20, 15, but on ground, wherever the speed test you do, it is very difficult to go even individual level 13, 14 MB, impossible. But here we are talking 100 Mbps traffic, and of course 10,000 more traffic. So even if it is a user experience, but this extreme mobile broadband, it is basically multifold expansion of the speed or the bandwidth requirement what we have now. So this is one part of the story, which is easily understandable by all of us and which is coming. And it has started already. We have started deploying all over the world in many countries, in Korea, in US, in Japan, already in China too. We have started deploying this thing. But when I was setting the tone of how really it can change the world to take care of many socio-economic aspects where healthcare is a very important part, to be very honest, that is not in that first vertical what we see on the top, what just now I told. That predominantly on the other two dimension of this 5G. This comes massive machine communication. Now, if I go to any mobile network, all of us know, right? We have a tower, radio emitting. Now, today, in mobile technology, in one cell, one radio unit, which we don't see, it is put on a tower, and the radio equipment, what Nokia, Ericsson, Huawei, this type of company supplies, can technologically really can cater up to maximum 300, 400 subscribers, not really beyond that. That too spread over 20, 30 square kilometer. So it means one radio unit can cater maximum 300 to 400 practically, though theoretically it can go to 600 and more type of subscriber. After that, if there is a more subscriber, I need to put another radio there. Now, think of this massive machine communication when in the IoT world, since the theme of the event was IoT, all of us understand that we are talking of IoT in every field. We are talking of IoTs in factory, in number of temperature, humidity monitoring or machine condition monitoring, IoT devices will be put all across a factory. Or if I come to smart wearable, which is very core to my heart, particularly when it comes to medical science, or I was setting the tone that if we need to monitor the performance of a patient when he's at home, the smart wearable discussion is happening that if you wear a smart wearable, it can send the vital organic, medical parameters wirelessly to some place. Now, there is a technology change happening. Please understand the number of then these IoT devices or smart wearable in the context of medical science is too much in a small area. Think of an hospital, Apollo Hospital in Chennai. Ideally, if all the patients wear a smart wearable as a part of their monitoring system, extending their thought process beyond hospital, right? Every aged people in Chennai city in different area, if are wearing a wearable like we wear watch or spec, the concentration of the IoT devices in a given area is turning huge. And mobile network is not able to handle that. And here it is coming massive machine communication where the bandwidth requirement, speed, huge bandwidth, clear picture may not be the case. But handling too many IoT devices within a small area is a challenge. So there comes this massive machine communication which 5G can support. If you see on the left hand side, we are estimating like 1 million devices per square meter, which is very true. Like if you go to a dense populated city like Bombay or New York, over the world in Tokyo, it is even more than that, right? It's very, very realistic, pragmatic devices we are thinking. And end of the day, if people are using these devices, it cannot be a very high-tech and carrier-grade item, right? It has to be low cost. The cost has to be very reasonable so that consumer can purchase. And of course, we know in the IoT world, battery is a problem. I cannot go on changing the battery every time. So we expect a very long battery life. So it means in the communication protocol, it should not consume too much of power, right? So very much in the context of healthcare too, particularly smart wearable, if we want to promote, then we need to keep in mind that smart wearable is a different technology. This is developing, it will come in the market, it is already coming. But how do we handle so many smart wearable devices in a given square kilometer? Is a different technology, different network is required at the back end. where you need to depend on the telecom operators. Otherwise, you may have the best of smart wearable, but it is of no use, the basic purpose. Right hand side coming the another application, which is critical machine communication. When I give example of factory, since I am basically from Nokia Chennai factory, always I feel comfortable to start with example of a factory. In the factory environment nowadays, to improve productivity, we are inducting lot of robots, moving guided vehicles, right, machines. Now, they are very critical. We need to take care of the safety part of the robot. When a robot is operating with his free arm, if I want to give a communication to operate, it need to respond fast. Otherwise, it can hit another operator, or it can hit the device on which it is working or doing some. The point here is, again, to be very honest, here the bandwidth is again not a problem. Problem is another technical parameter we know called latency, means the response time when somebody remotely trying to give a command and how fast it is getting the response. Now in today's world, when we are used to a digital world, only we feel little bit of jittery when the picture get blurred, picture is not good, speed is low, but these are not nothing mission critical, to be honest. Okay, I can log out again, I can try again. But in a factory environment, when some machines are running, concerned for the equipments, people who are around, then I need the best of the latency to operate this network, which has to be less than 1 millisecond. Now, coming to health world or the medical world, the discussions are happening that as a 5G technology protocol, how can you promote the robotic surgery remotely so that doctor, we all know, right? Doctor can be anywhere else. He can take control remotely the robot and still can operate it. So the robotic surgery has taken already a shape, but if we really want to experiment this robotic surgery through a doctor who is remotely placed, then it is not the skill of robotic surgeon or the robotic machines. What is more important coming is in between this communication layer, how fast it can respond. If a doctor from New York is trying to take a control on a patient who is admitted to Apollo Hospital in Chennai, here the latency comes in the picture. Now today's mobile network, unfortunately, don't support this type of latency. We run at 30, 40, 50, 20. So the latency requirement of the telecom network has to come down drastically if we want to have this critical machine communication, whether it is in the factory or it is in the hospital or in the car. Okay, there is another industry, car industry on the road, right? There a lot of discussion is happening. Driverless car, there that is very, very important. And particularly when any machines are moving, like moving vehicle, we see in the factory environment, the latency effect becomes more critical. In a fixed object, even if it can respond to latency variation effectively, but if a device is moving, which is the case in case of driverless car or lot of automated guided vehicles, moving vehicles in the factory floor or in a hub. Now, this impact of latency becomes more critical or when the things have started moving. So we need to take care in the technology side, that part. So 5G is basically designed and the development is happening to take care all the aspects of these three areas: extremely mobile broadband, massive machine communication, critical machine communication. Now, if we have understood this slide, subsequent slides are basically repetition of the same topic, little bit of put in a different word and English, nothing difference. But these terms are important, which we are talking in communication 5G world. You will be coming across this term very common: EMBB, enhanced mobile broadband; MMTC, massive machine type communication; URLLC, ultra reliable low latency communication. So these three particular terminology, those who are interested on technical aspects of the 5G, why I like to highlight, because very often we refer to these topics. What is the application? EMBB or MMTC or URLLC, right? So this picture is actually depicting this same thing, nothing else actually. Now, again, the same thing as I told, nothing new I am talking, but just putting in a different context. Particularly in this three area, I already told the peak data rate, whatever can happen. I have explained about the smart wearable impact, smart home, etc., etc. Take a look on the right hand side when it is coming industrial safety and the remote control. Now this remote control is very, very important for healthcare point of view, particularly when it comes to surgery. On the top, there is one item which is very important called video surveillance. Now, the example what I was telling at the beginning, because I know many of my friends circles are staying in US. They are really worried always about their aged parents. So what they have done, all of us know we are having a CCTV camera setup nowadays, and they try to log in and check it. But with the existing Wi-Fi or even the LAN network environment, the experience of this video surveillance for either the safety purpose of an industry, or if you want to really monitor your own house or the kids or the parents remotely from anywhere, is not that great. For that, we need more and more speed. We need fixed wireless access type of environment, which 5G is ready to provide, right? So that discussion is happening. Now, another two topic which you see on the top, we see virtual reality, augmented reality. We all know these are these gamification topics, very, very popular. Like how do we create an application that people, when are not there, when the reality is not there, still virtually I can simulate what is going on and can feel what is going on, right? But still it is more related at this point to the gaming function predominantly. And we are trying to use it really to train people to some extent for the training purpose in the industry. I have not seen too much of application of virtual reality in other field of the society, whether it is medical science or healthcare or smart city. It is still more in the gamification. You go to the shopping mall, you pay and you can have virtual reality experience. But as we proceed, may not be right now, as we go down the line 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, we predict that this virtual reality will also come into action to support the medical fraternity, the medical world, that when things are not there, still how I can see it. The next point is coming augmented reality, so that we know the difference virtual reality and augmented reality. Augmented reality is not the virtual on the real world, something what is not there, it is augmented in help us to understand how it will happen. So we are trying in the industry factory environment to use this AR facility actually to guide the operators, while he is doing some sort of assembly, what after what to do. And this augmented reality, we find, since it is an user experience based interactive session, that compared to a formal training, classroom training, PowerPoint training, the AR based training are very, very vital to train the people more effectively, because they get engaged to it. And I see one more aspect of this augmented reality. Keep example of my Chennai factory. The operators who are coming to take part in our assembly or manufacturing process, they are really young kids, just from college, 18 years, 19 years, 20 years, and they need to handle a lot of things, okay? So they need to be trained fast. So once we started this augmented reality based training, we found the kids, I still call them the kids, they are becoming more attentive, they are learning fast for the assembly guidelines. Now, if we think a little bit deep, why I'm explaining a little bit more time on augmented reality, which is being used for factory training at the shop floor for the people. If you see the medical world, everywhere we have so many people who need to be trained. Medical area is just not that the doctors or the hospital, right? In the whole system, ecosystem, there are thousands of people who need to be trained for their operations. Now, how do we train them now? I don't think this augmented reality is really at its infancy stage. It has not taken the shape so that it can become an effective training platform in all area. And particularly when it comes to medical topic, health topic, I think the importance of training is 100 times more critical compared to in factory. In factory environment, if something is working, not working, what will happen? End of the day, I may scrap one system, or maybe my quality will go up a product that I can scrap, I can still send someone. But the people, the nurse, the staff who are supporting the health care of the patient, right? Most likely we cannot afford, and which still happens, negligence happens just because of not knowing. The people put who are not trained, not that experienced, and experience don't come overnight. It needs a long association, and India is a pretty uh, young generations are coming to different service. So to increase the efficiency of the training, even in the field of medical science, I feel this augmented reality will play an important role. Now, if you want to really use this augmented reality effectively, it cannot be done centralized way if you don't have the 5G at the backhaul. It is impossible that you should have the application of the video content loaded each and every device, because AR and VR is a device specific. So the architecture what we are looking, or the whole world is looking, that there will be less application or content in the end devices. The application will be centrally somewhere, or the even content that can be the cloud or centralized server, that can be edge. And here, from here, it will be coming down. So if I am having, just for an example, 100 nurses to be trained for their procedures, right? I can give the AR device to 100 nurses, but I cannot load the content in 100 devices. Let it be centralized somewhere in that hospital campus, or even in the city somewhere. But if we want a centralized uniform content somewhere and then distributed to the every devices, of course it has to be wireless, because it is very clear that people will be moving, right? I cannot think of an wired environment in a hospital environment, right? It is impossible. Then you are getting restricted. So again, the 5G, which is power of enhanced broadband communication and low latency, comes in the picture. So that's why I wanted to spend a couple of minutes here. Now, this slide is generic slide. I think my topic, the theme, what I told was future X. X is nothing. X is basically how multiple time everything increasing. So by 25, we are telling that the wireless traffic, and which will go on increasing, will go by 100 times than what is today. Video traffic in particular, this we are experiencing during this unfortunate pandemic time already in India. 720%, sorry, this is there is a typographical mistake. It is go by 720%. Now, I mentioned right now that everything we are moving to cloud. We see even the mission critical application, because of better management, we know those who are in the field of cloud and data analytics, we know that cloud gives us a lot of meaningful advantages. It makes no sense to keep everything even in the local server. So it has to move to cloud. So that's why we see that ever increasing application of cloud based. Everywhere you go, everything is happening in the cloud, right? Google Cloud, iPhone Cloud, Amazon Cloud, AWS Cloud. But still, these all the cloud applications are related not to mission critical applications. When it comes to health related or factory related applications, then there will be huge traffic. We are predicting 2000 times traffic will increase by 2025, which has to be handled at the cloud level. Okay, ROI is a business term. 700 billion devices to be connected things. This is very obvious, which I explained. 80% people connected to internet. Still, we know all over the world. people are still not connected to internet. Even in India, even the mobile phone penetration is still just 40%. Even if there has been, many of us are holding 2, 3, 4 mobile, 2, 3 SIMs. But if I share you the data point, the mobile phone penetration is just 40%. Okay, so miles to go for the internet connectivity, and 620% data. So why all these? You don't need to keep in mind all the data point X 13, 7, 20, but the essence of the slide is very self-explanatory, that there has to be literally multiple times, more than 100 times increase in every field, so far the traffic is concerned. And for that, there is a special network requirement in the telecom field, which the telecom operators of the world is working with the equipment providers like Nokia, like Ericsson, like Huawei, or like Cisco or Samsung also coming somewhere, is working to make this future network of the future, right? This is nothing very special slide, but of course this slide has some meaning, that how the digital platforms are turning more and more important. All of us know very well, particularly when we are in this COVID time, we know that how even this Netflix, Microsoft Team, just now I'm speaking over Microsoft Team or Zoom, has become popular. Think of just 1 year back, which we never predicted. Was this digital platform so popular? No, Microsoft Team has come just even in our Nokia, we have been all using the Cisco only. Just a couple of, I think, months back, 1 year back, we have moved to Microsoft Team, and we see increasing. So the digital platforms are changing heavily. Now, this healthcare topic is also going to be integrated with this digital platform. Only one picture which is drawing my attention here, this WeThings. Somehow this Nokia, we have taken over this company WeThings, which was into this smart wearable. But again, there was some diversification, but again, the discussion is happening, where from Nokia's side, we are in this project, we are trying to work that when some healthcare related IoT devices are coming, how these are becoming compatible to the backend wireless network. Now, I can make a IoT device. That's a different technology. But if I make a Bluetooth connectivity, is it really going to work? Is it really future proof? Can I really scale it up? Can I make it an Wi-Fi compatible? Can I make it compatible with narrowband IoT? Can I make it compatible with even LTE or 5G? So there are a lot of research discussion is happening how these medical devices will be made compatible to this connected world, so that otherwise, the development of one vertical will be high, whereas it is not effective, which is my tone, what I'm talking from beginning. Now, if you see today, YouTube, Netflix are so popular, right? All of us used to YouTube every day in, day out, we are listening. But just take a pause and think. If the telecom world, the speed has not improved, this 4G network, if you did not have such cheap mobile connection, by the way, India is the cheapest. India, everything is cheap. Our data rate is very cheap. We did not have this broadband connection. I think so many people could not have been addicted to this YouTube so much. It was impossible. YouTube was there for ages together. This had nothing to do with YouTube. YouTube content, YouTube was always there. But YouTube as a digital platform is turning more and more popular. Facebook Live today, right? Everybody use it. Just take a pause. Day in what we are using, particularly this pandemic type. Team meeting, Zoom meeting, Facebook Live, right? Very common. YouTube. Have you thought Facebook was always there? YouTube was always there. Netflix was always there. But what has enabled this digital platform to become so effective, so part and parcel of our life? It is at the back end, the connectivity world, which is driven by the telecom operators, right? So both had joined hands together. So we are able to give a meaningful solution to the end user. And that essence, I think all community should take. not just the medical professional, all the telecom professional. Everybody has to work together if you want to make a change to this whole topic. This is a technology slide. I will skip it. Only one point I will highlight. Some of the technology things are happening because I see many students come from different colleges. They do the internship project on the massive MIMO. Now, beamforming. So 5G as a technology, apart from radio, is actually incorporating couple of upcoming technologies in the field of radio communication, particularly massive MIMO. This is very important. When I see students nowadays from college is learning and they are coming to this 5G world, I feel good because our time we have not understood exactly what this massive MIMO topic is. But today, this massive MIMO technology is the only technology at the back end of the hardware of the whole 5G radio set. What actually even is this Nokia factory we are making. Like for your example, we are making now 64 antenna integrated in one radio, and that we are delivering in thousands of thousands, particularly to UST Mobile now, which is a 5G product. Okay, network slicing I will come later on, so I can skip this slide. This will be a little bit of interesting to those who are a little bit interested on the radio side. End of the day, when I talk about wireless communication, nothing happens without a radio frequency, which is a rare commodity, where unfortunately, it is not the technology world comes in the picture. Here, the policymaker comes into picture. So why I'm highlighting this point, we, those who are in the technology field, we believe sometimes, and it's a misunderstanding, that technology can only change the world. This is not correct. Technology can enable something, but a country, a society, if they really want to take advantage of a technology, then the concerned policymaker makes a huge role. Why I'm telling like this? Those who are in the radio knows very well that if I need high frequency band, because bandwidth is all about bandwidth, right? We all know radio bandwidth. Somebody need to give me the permission to use it because radio is a controlled resource, all country, not in India. 5G, the popular band, what we see all over the world is 3500 megahertz. It is neither too high nor too low. So why it is so popular? Because it is placed midway. Now it at the radio level, it can give me 100 megahertz bandwidth, which is quite good actually. Today, all the mobile network what you use for our normal mobile communication, if I go to the radio level, I get advantage of 20 megahertz bandwidth. That too, that technology supports. But if you go to the operators like Airtel, Vodafone, they get just 5 megahertz as a part of the auction from the government of India. So, though technologically this radio can operate over 20 megahertz radio bandwidth, which can support peak rate of 100 Mbps, but unfortunately, due to the distribution of the spectrum, actually operate just at 5 megahertz. If I come to 5G world, I can get 100 megahertz bandwidth, but this is not available. We are yet to go to that auction method. A lot of discussion is happening that when government or the concerned operators will sorry, my screen is my screen audible? Somehow I.
So it is visible, but it is not full screen now. Earlier it was in the full screen mode. The presentation. Yes, now it is fine, sir.
Oh, why it is not coming?
Now it's fine,
And
sir.
this team, see, as a digital platform, this has to stabilize. Can you see my? Oh shit! Again, it is going back to my Just 1 minute, 1 minute. I don't know, it is struggling to. As soon as I'm giving to PowerPoint mode, I'm going. Just 1 minute. Is it visible but not coming full screen, right?
It is coming full screen.
Okay, but I cannot see. That is the problem.
Here it is coming well, sir, full screen. We all can see.
Why happening?
It has gone to the next slide.
Sorry. Just bear with me 1 minute. I am not able to
So
see.
take your time, sir. No issues.
Just 1 minute. I also need to see it, right? That is a problem.
Yes.
Just 1 minute. I was in this slide. Can you see the slide? Deepa, madam, can you see the slide?
So we can view, but the thing is, it is in the not in the full screen mode. We can view it.
The problem.
But if you can view it, then it's fine. Here it is visible for us, sir. It is almost
Okay.
covering 3/4 of the screen.
Okay, fine. So I think I was talking of the spectrum and talking about little bit of policymakers come in the picture. So if we want a 100 megahertz bandwidth, then I need 3.5 megahertz spectrum, which the discussion is happening at the country level. Like so-called developed countries, like we don't have this problem. The spectrum is already available. They have made this auction long back, like Korea and other country. We have that. And India, I know very well, we are working on this 3.5 megahertz bandwidth. Now, there is one interesting topic. Ultimately, if I go to millimeter wave radio, which is coming next, will operate at very high frequency, 24 to 28 gigahertz radio band. Why? Because some of the applications, why what I am talking, even this 3.5 megahertz radio is not enough to accommodate. I need to go very high frequency band, which can provide me 800 megahertz radio bandwidth. Now, when I move to such a millimeter wave 5G, which is the next stage will come, it's not a fantasy because already the models are available with that band also. Now, obviously the coverage, we all know those who are in the radio that as and when I'm moving to high frequency, the coverage will come down. Pure simple radio propagation principle. So if I go to very high frequency, what will happen? The cell size will come very small. It will be 100 meters. So it means the number of radio units at this millimeter wave, what is to be installed will be huge. So it has other implications. So if you see the power consumption of the cell site, because end of the day radio communication happens to a cell site, right? At the BTS you have seen, we have diesel power, we need to keep the always on. So if we move to millimeter wave, which has not a very wide coverage, very small coverage, but very powerful so far bandwidth is concerned, then we need very dense radio network, which calls for very high power consumption too. So there is a lot of discussion happening or development that how can I make my radio system more, energy sensitive, means it will consume less energy. So that is another development what is happening. Moving back to Industry 4.0, as I told that, is my screen somehow, as soon as I'm moving to PowerPoint, I'm coming back to my email screen. That's why I had to run this way. Is it visible? Can you see the screen? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you can hear.
Okay. So, this Industry 4.0 is one of the main topic what all of us talk will be happening. Now, though this is generally talked in with respect to factories or the manufacturing industry, but this concept is valid for all industry, doesn't matter. Now, if we quickly look, this is a well-known topic to everybody of the revolution of the industry. We had industry 1.0 when the mechanics were more important. Then there was this invention of electricity, which was more dominated by electricity. Then with all the IT era, like when we started doing our engineering, it was more dominated by IT. But when it is coming to the last revolution stage or fourth revolution stage, whether you take a factory or if you take a medical world or any world, this is neither mechanics nor electricity nor computer. It is integration of everything, right? Like if I take example of not factory, even if I move to little bit, I move to car industry. Car is what basically or more dominated by mechanical people, right? Mechanical experts were most wanted in automobile industry, right? Then we are now talking of electricity cars, so coming out. But then already we have seen that car is having a lot of IT enabled interfaces. Now today we are not talking a very good rugged mechanical car which can run on electricity, which has a lot of IT interface. We are talking that how the cars can be connected while going on the road, how the car's data every time can be sent to the cloud. Now, if you think, so seamless integration is happening, mechanics, electricity, IT, cloud, everything. And this is the whole essence of Industry 4.0. So when it comes to healthcare, again, going back to the theme of this event, what was going on last couple of days, I would like to emphasize, even at the cost of repetition again and again and again, that our main focus, our main strategy, whoever is in whatever field, somebody will be developing, somebody will be making the policies, somebody will be on the governance, but everywhere I need to think that how can I seamlessly connect everything. Like suppose if there is someone who is owner of a super specialty hospital, right? Obviously he will look for the best of the doctors. That is the basic. But that is not enough. If he is not enabling his medical infrastructure or the nursing home or the hospital, whatever he call, with the latest world of cloud, robotics, augmented reality or the data analytics, then most likely that hospital cannot provide the state-of-the-art medical support service what we are looking through this 5G enabled next generation. You can skip this slide. This is more of a commercial slide. This will be interested for more for the entrepreneurs. What I mean that apart from pure mobile communication, when the industry guys are analyzing that what is the market potential, because everybody looks for new business opportunities, right? Because market is getting stagnant. How many mobile connection will happen? So always people looks for more and more job opportunity, and that it is just not a matter of business guys. If we call up GDP, right? India GDP going down, GDP going up. So if we go to technology field, that technology can enable the GDP growth. So what we are predicting, not we, all the industry experts, that in this connected world, factory, cities, human, retail, there's a huge, we are predicting 3.8 trillion US dollar by 2025 economic impact will come. What does it mean? It means that if this type of application can create an wealth worth 3.8 trillion, as you can see, then simply if I divide by the population of the people, right, people will get the money out of that. This will be in our hand, and which is of course always every country, every individual, every family, individually, everybody wants to earn more money. Now, where from the money comes? Somebody pays you, right? Where from he pays? He has to have the opportunity of the business. So even if we are talking of technology, we should not forget that economics, what is there behind. I think I will skip couple of slides. This is basically the same thing. Rather, I would prefer to go to maybe one, two interesting cases. Otherwise, it will be monotonous. I'm going to the slides. I'm just searching one slide. This slide is of that all the robotic surgery, what I was talking, right? How many of you can tell what
Sir,
is this?
the slide is not changed, sir. It is still in the 5G slide. The high level comparison of 5G and LTE.
You are not on slide 26?
No, sir.
Oh, no. High level comparison.
So between
Wait.
5G, yeah, okay.
Or should I stop and share
Now
again?
it has, now it has changed, sir.
It has changed,
Double
right?
robot. Yeah, robotics, yes.
So, this is a robot which we use in our factory. I think many people have seen, those who have visited our factory. Now, this robot is a basically simple iPad, which is through Bluetooth connected to that mechanical part. And we can take control of this robot from any part of the world, and we navigate through the shop floor to see what is going on. Now, we have many companies in the world who are making these robots. We have a famous company called Beam. This is from Double Robotics. Double Robotics is the name of the company. Now, this Double Robotics, or the Beam, we call telepresence robot, was there for some time now in the industry, which was more of a game, remote seeing each other, conducting meeting. But what we have seen in our factories, that this robot is turning to a very important tool for us to see the operation remotely, particularly during COVID time. We are making extensive use of that robot to navigate through the floor and see. Now, not only that, when we need to provide remote support to our other factories which are in Mexico or in Brazil or in any other country or China or the vice versa, we really make use of the robot. Now, this is an old slide. Like we were transferring a couple of products from our factory to other factories in Brazil, and we are extensively using this robotic communication to transfer our knowledge because nobody can visit it. Why I am showing this slide? There is a purpose. Now, if you go to, I'm again going back to little bit. I need to go back to the old slide. Can you see the double robotic slide? Is this audible, Deepa madam? Can you see this slide?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
Audible also.
You see
Yes.
the net. So this robot has to seamlessly move on the factory floor. It has to be a wireless connection. Somebody remotely from any part of the world is navigating it. We have seen that without a solid backhaul radio connection, we tried with Wi-Fi, we tried with 2G, 3G, it don't operate. If it is static, it is fine, but you cannot navigate it. You need a robust radio communication in that premises if you really want to make use of it. Incidentally, I don't know whether it is open or not. I was trying to. You can. I'm just searching in the YouTube. You can go and you will find. I have seen that nowadays even many hospitals have started uh, making use of these robots for visiting the patients. I don't know how many of you have seen that video. I was searching that video. Actually, there was one nice video. Just give me 1 second. I'll take a little bit of time. 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Telepresence. This morning only I was checking. Just 1 minute. So I'm just still searching. Can you see the screen?
Sir,
my
the
screen?
screen, the PPT is still open and visible.
You are seeing only that PPT.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, if you open the Google in the desktop and if you share that only, you can either share the desktop also.
Okay, just a minute. Just give me some time.
Okay,
Just
sir.
1 minute. I need 1 minute time, please.
Sure, sir.
Just excuse me. I need to. Oh, no. One minute. Share desktop, right?
Yes, sir. There is an option share desktop. Yes, we can see now.
So I think you can Google anyone. I just wanted to give this context. That's why I decided to use this Googling. Can you see a couple of pictures?
Yes, sir.
So if you see,
Yes, sir, we are able to see.
yeah, you can see that doctor is here, patient is here, nurse is here. Doctor is physically not there. He exactly the same robot we are having in our Nokia Chennai factory, right? So it's just for medical purpose they are using it. Now, this robot you cannot communicate effectively if you don't have the backhaul communication. Though robot is there already available in the industry, so you need a connection, and that connection will be best when it comes to 5G or 4G LTE. Otherwise, you cannot do. So what I'm telling that it is not a dream. Already this type of robot, all that you can see in the YouTube also nice videos are there. You will see that people have started using this thing. And okay, now the challenges what they are facing, we are trying to take care through robots. Now, again, the connectivity comes. Uh, I will switch to some other topic of which is very relevant at this point, the COVID. If you give me 1 minute, just give me 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Please bear with me. I would like to show you some video clippings of something what we have done in Nokia in our own Chennai factory here in Chennai to take care of this COVID situation. So I will try to go through a video clip rather than I start explaining the PPT. We all know that we are very seriously hit in the COVID in Chennai, and that too our factory was practically shut down. All people confused. We operate at 24/7. More than 1,500 operators are there. So you are shattered actually. But then, and you know, the temperature monitoring is the only key to at least know that this people is symptomatic, at least to start with. So anybody through high temperature should not come to office or to factory floor. Then it spreads. By this time, all of us have learned. So we developed something solution called Nokia Automated Analytics Solution, which basically now deployed in our factory for last 3 months, and which is helping us to really mitigate this COVID situation, at least we are able to screen the people who are having this temperature related issue at the beginning. So I will try to show you one video, NAS Chennai factory. Just you should tell me whether you can see or not. Can you see? Is anything is coming?
So visible, sir. Video is coming.
I don't know really the
Nokia
audio.
Chennai factory.
I don't know the audio will come or not. I'm playing the video. If you can tell if the audio is coming. Okay, let me start the video.
Okay, sir.
Can you hear the audio?
So no, sir.
I-
Yeah, if you could just stop the sharing and after you click the share button, there will be an option called include a computer audio. If you could enable that, share it, then it will be fine, sir.
Okay, I would like to show you that audio. So let me take 1 minute also. Can you guide me?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir. First, you can stop sharing now.
I can stop share. Okay.
Yeah, just click on that button. Yeah.
Yes.
Once again, click that share button, sir.
Yes.
There will be one option called include computer audio.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes, just click that and share it.
Okay. This is gone. Now I'll go back. I'll go back to share, right?
And you choose the desktop now.
I'll show the desktop.
You enable that include computer and choose the desktop.
At the time of a pandemic.
Can you hear?
Yes, sir. Audio is coming now.
Okay.
Both we have no choice.
Please go through this video.
Through our factory doors virtually.
Just go once again from beginning. You will like it. Yeah.
Welcome to Nokia Chennai factory, situated at Oragadam, Chennai. At the time of a pandemic, we have no choice but to take you through our factory doors virtually to demonstrate the use case. We are now at the reception desk, and you can see our telepresence robo standing below in live at the setup of Nokia Automated Analytics Solution, also known as NAS. At the time of a pandemic, it becomes important to ensure the safety of every individual who enters the shop floor and works inside the factory. Explain how NAS exactly accomplishes this. Let us look at what this solution is made of. NAS, or Nokia Automated Analytics Solution, is a combination of multiple Industry 4.0 components put together intelligently to provide a smart solution that finds a pandemic scenario. We have a thermal imaging camera that records the temperature and provides the readings as accurately between plus or minus 0.3 degrees centigrade. This thermal camera is wirelessly enabled through private LTE connectivity offered by Nokia Digital Automation Cloud. The private LTE connectivity makes the entire process of operation seamless and reduces the setup and the infrastructure time from days to hours, and also enables the operations to become easily scalable. In order for us to get real-time alerts on the elevated temperature and even the personal protective equipment compliance, we have the solution from Nokia Space-Time Scene Analytics, which provides the display of the elevated temperature of the individual and also the personal protective equipment compliance status. On the triad screen, for the individual to take the decision to whether move inside the shop floor safely or get isolated due to the conditions. We have an individual now walking towards the camera to screen the temperature. And you see that when the PPE compliance is not met, a red alert is generated. When the same individual scans for temperature reading, the personal protective equipment compliance turns green due to the compliance factor. Scene Analytics offers the real-time solution, while we have an integrated operations center, which provides, as you can see here, the long-term analytics of the same situation, giving the statistics of all the readings of scans in the last few months across the different cameras installed inside the Chennai factory. All this can be manned remotely without a person present at the area and requires no manual scanner.
In the last 3 months, we have successfully scanned 300,000 people and detected more than 3,500 elevated temperature, potentially eliminating the risk of a spread of a pandemic. The Nokia Automated Analytics Solution, or NAS, has instilled a sense of confidence and trust for the employees inside the factory, as it has effectively stopped the risk at the gate of our floors. Thank you.
Thank you. I think this video I wanted to show, like, it is related to health of our employees in the factory, and we have been using it for last 2-3 quarters, and it found to be very effective for us. But apart from the technology part, if you can see, it is basically integration of couple of vertical, as Hamsi in this call was telling, that it has a camera which you can still call an IoT something. Then we have the connectivity, then we have the analytics, then we have okay, it is stored in the cloud. So all elements are put together to create a solution related to health of our employees, which is most crucial at this point of time. Okay, so I think I have already crossed the timeline. I've crossed more than 1 hour, so I wanted to close my presentation with this demo. Otherwise, I will go on talking. Okay, so thank you very much for giving this opportunity. But the net conclusion, what I would like to make like this, that we are heading towards a connected world. 5G as a communication technology is going to be a great enabler. We'll see convergence of multiple industries working together to make lives better or different for all of us. Okay, and this is a topic where everybody has to come together. Equipment suppliers like Nokia, academicians, medical professionals, policymakers. So it is really a case of real ecosystem engagement and to make a difference. Okay, so thank you very much for the time. And I would like to conclude once again thanking you my speech here. Thank you.
So a big thank you for this eye-opening session. You had given us a overall industry perspective, which was not yet covered in any of the preceding sessions. So I hope the participants would also have got a gist of what the industry expects and how much important connectivity is in the field of healthcare. And one thing which I found was you had emphasized multiple times, highlighted multiple times the importance of how medical industry has to join hands with the telecom world and with Industry 4.0 in order to have an excellent medical service, provide an excellent medical service to the patients, specifically in the times of emergency. So that I think as the participants all will take a note of it, and I hope as engineers all of us should have give more importance to application of this teleconnectivity into the field of healthcare. And one more thing which I found very interesting in your talk was you had given us the important point that 5G was very much beyond speed, because speed almost we have achieved, and what was more important was concentrating on reducing the latency to reduce the latency when massive M2M communication happens due to this wearable devices. And also you had given us a gist of what are the latest technologies and how augmented reality and 5G can revolutionize the healthcare industry. So thank you so much, sir. In fact, in spite of your very busy schedule, we know how much you are busy. You had immediately accepted our invite to give the valedictory keynote for this event. So from the management of KCG and from our entire team, heartfelt thanks. To Mr. Cloudin sir also I should thank once in this forum, because he had helped me connect with you. Maybe he was a 5G for our this interaction in this STTP session.
No, it is my always pleasure. I think I can't stop, but I missed it because I can go on talking. One dream which is very core to my heart related to healthcare.
And thank you for the association with KCG College of Technology for almost a long time now. In fact, our college also have gained a lot of expertise and doing projects and interacting with Nokia company. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Now over to the yes, sir. Any participants would
Any
like to ask queries? I forgot to ask that.
Yeah. Any query, anything, any aspect, what is in my understanding, I can say. Again, I told I'm not totally a medical expert, neither technocrat, but know little bit everything and then can make a recipe.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Myself,
afternoon.
Dr. Sir, we were very much associated with Nokia company as
Yes,
an
yes.
user customer, and we hope IoT will also be a field for Nokia to develop something new with respect to 5G or any other thing. Is there any plan of Nokia in this direction?
To be very honest, we are not moving ahead to the manufacturing of IoT device as such, honestly, because that is not our core area. But as I was mentioning in my speech, that this is an ecosystem engagement topic. We will be working with the IoT partners to provide that interfacing part to the network. But development of IoT device like sensor, etc., that is actually not our core area. Most likely, we won't be to that domain. But we'll be working closely with them to make it compatible with the network. That is the point.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Any other queries from the participants?
Yeah, good evening, sir. You were talking about millimeter wave side supporting
Yes.
5G,
Yes.
but there are shortcomings of millimeter wave too, right, sir? They are sensitive waves, they have blockage difficulties. So how they are going to support your IoT devices in 5G?
Come again. What is problem in this millimeter wave?
So millimeter waves have difficulties of path losses.
Yeah.
It has propagation loss, they're sensitive, they say. So how
Yeah.
they're going to support
So
this high frequency application?
So basically, millimeter waves are actually not meant for IoT type of device. It will be more intense applications where, like AR, VR in a dense populated area, we like to use it. Now, if I go to this IoT device where many devices are required, actually the favorite band what is coming out in the industry is basically 600 or 700 megahertz. The left hand side of the triangle, right? Massive communication. There we see which works on the 5G protocol. So we are seeing that so far IoT device communication will be happening. That will happen most likely on 600 700 megahertz band, not really at the millimeter wave. But millimeter wave will be more used, as we are expecting, more on the video type of application, immersive video experience, not really for IoT communication. As we predict, as we see the industry moving. You are correct. That band is not suitable for IoT
Then
device.
5G with IoT means what? So like 5G supported by millimeter waves, then how it is going to be compatible and how it is going to support the IoT devices was like I was having query for that, sir. 5G with IoT, they say everywhere.
No,
literature
that's
too.
why
Yeah.
that's why I'm telling you. Now, 5G it will be a network, right? It will have different components. Some segment will
Yes, sir.
support IoT device. Something will support the millimeter wave. There will be a network protocol layer. So not that if I want to connect an IoT device, it has to take me to the 5G network too with 28 or 27, 29 megahertz, sorry, gigahertz radio band. So it will be a network architecture which will have different component. The core will be same. See, 5G is not a end-to-end solution. It will have different component. Like there will be some segment of the network which will be working on millimeter wave. Some area will be working on 600 megahertz band. Somebody will be working on 3.5 megahertz band. But everything will be centrally connected to the core. Core will be super intelligent. So it will have the network slicing capability. Means it can divert the traffic depending on its requirement to which network you need to go. So, madam, this way the network architecture is evolving. So you will have all radio, all component, different type of radio, centrally controlled by very powerful 5G core. Like any mobile network, there is one element called core. Now this core in 5G is going to be super intelligent. This core can sense the application, can sense the radio, can divert the traffic where it is required. So it will be overall network architecture transformation, not just making one wireless communication link.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So most welcome. You all can visit our factory. So even if physical visits are not practical nowadays, but we are still started conducting a lot of virtual visits. Virtual visit means through robots, through camera, through Microsoft Team, the same platform what right now we are using. We are into this virtual tour we have started last couple of months for many customers, since visits are not practical now. So you can always welcome. You are always welcome. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, can we wind up the session, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. You can wind up.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So we can close the meeting. All the participants can leave. We will be posting the question link in the WhatsApp group. Sir,
Okay.
it is over to the participants. There is an exam for them now.
Okay, I'll be leaving. I'm signing off. Okay, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So the questions will be, I think the questions have already posted. Please let me check. One second, we'll post it now. Please wait. So if any of you have any problem,